Hey guys, so this is the third and last part of the heroes build. In this video I will talk about the tank. I will tell you how I think you should build your tank. I will explain each skill and tell you which skills you should use and why. So the tank is a very tough hero with a very strong defense. His purpose is to survive as long as he can to distract the enemy from your units. In the beginning he will have a very weak attack, but the higher his level, the faster this will change. So I believe the tank works very well with water, specifically with the pirates, but not necessarily, up to your choosing. So I will first talk about the classic tank, which you see a lot, where you basically have one main build, but you have two ways of getting there. And then I will mention the non-standard tank, which I am of course a big lover of non-standard heroes. So the classic tank build is very popular. Your end goal will be to get his strength to 250 to get him as tough as you can, and his dexterity to 120 for the dodge skill. You can reach that build at level 94, but until your hero reaches that level, the question is which to get first, the 250 strength or 120 dexterity. So both ways have their own advantages and disadvantages. First way is to get your strength to 250 first. This will give you a very strong defense. The hero will take on itself the first hit and will probably be able to survive long enough to be useful. Plus he will have the last tank skill, which is very good. You can get that at level 64. His attack will be very weak at first, but gradually it will become stronger. The second way is to go for 120 dexterity, also around level 64 or slightly before that, because you will need to take on yourself the enemy's first hit at 120 strength. So you'll have 120 strength and 120 dexterity, and the rest will all go into strength. So what's good about this pattern is that your hero will take on himself the first two enemy hits. He will of course have a much weaker defense and will probably die quicker, but he could also use the Wings of Icarus and put a prohibition on an enemy unit. Plus he will have a decent attack, so this way is pretty good too. You can also switch to this at a later stage. For example, once you have the revival skill at 175 points. Now for the non-standard tank. So there's two ways to build this one. This hero is very similar to the archer, but instead of giving him a bow, you equip him with a melee weapon and a shield. So the first way is to give him a 250 dexterity, and the rest goes into strength. So this is similar to the archer, only this hero will have a better defense. Now I didn't like this hero so much. Much like the archer, this is too much up to luck, and luck is never in your favor when you most need it. Now I gotta mention that my hero had a pretty weak gear when I tried it. With high level gear it could be more useful, but it still has a lot to do with luck. The second way, which I find more interesting, is to give him 175 dexterity and the rest goes into strength. So this tank is also similar to the archer, but without the archer's weakness. So the 175 dexterity skill is kind of similar to the last tank skill, only instead of giving a bonus to your soldiers, your hero will get the bonus to his attack. And if his defense is strong enough and he can take a lot of hits, his attack will become really strong. So the classic tank is more focused on strengthening your soldiers, while this tank is more based on strengthening himself. So he's more selfish. In terms of defense, he will have slightly less, depending on your level of course, but at level 100 you can get 221 strength, so it's not super significant, though the difference is being felt. And of course, I recommend that you experiment yourself with different kinds of tanks, and heroes in general, and see which ones you like more. Alright, now for the tank skills. So for the first skill, you have a choice between three skills. The first skill grants a 30% bonus to your shield defense. So this is my most recommended skill here. As I mentioned before, the shield adds a significant bonus to your defense. So unless your hero is an archer or a mage that uses two-handed staff, you should use a shield and this skill. By the way, my own preference with the mage is a one-handed staff and a shield as well, but up to your choosing. Alright, the second skill will give you a 35% chance to hit the fastest enemy unit with an enhanced attack, after which your hero will lose a turn. So I strongly recommend against this skill. Oftentimes this skill will hit the enemy hero, who could often dodge the skill. But even if this wasn't the case, even if the skill always landed, you cannot afford having your hero skip a turn. None of the hero bonuses work while he's stunned. This is just a horrible result for your squad. So in my opinion, this is a bad skill. The third skill will increase the physical defense by 25% and HP by 10% for all protectors in your squad. So Protector is a type of unit. They are usually slow with a strong defense. So this includes the giants and ogres, the gargoyles and golems, and the krakens. So this is the skill you should take if your hero doesn't use a shield. There are useful protectors with every god, so this is a pretty useful skill as well. Alright, for the second skill you have a choice between two skills. The first skill is the healing skill. The hero will restore 15% HP every turn. So this is a great skill. This is of course the one I recommend taking here. The second skill will allow your hero to use two-handed weapons. So you can't actually equip your hero with a two-handed weapon without this skill. And much like the dexterity skill where you can put two weapons, I don't recommend taking this skill. So first of all, in my opinion, your defense is much more important. So you would rather have a shield if you play with a tank. So if you really want a two-handed weapon, just make your hero an archer and put a bow. Because the healing skill is just too important, as well as the dexterity skill where your defense is increased every time an enemy squad dies. Alright, for the third skill you have a choice between four skills. The first skills will make your hero take on himself the first enemy attack, no matter who it is aimed at. So this is the skill I would recommend taking for the tank most of the time. Especially combined with the dodge skill, this will take the first two enemy hits on himself. This gives your army a good advantage, especially if your hero can take it. The second skill will make you always deal critical damage to golems and dendroids. So golems and dendroids are races of the nature god. This includes the forest guard, the gargoyle, the golems, and the destroyer. So this could be a good temporary skill if you are fighting nature players, but I suspect you won't be fighting only them, so you would need to change it at some point. The third skill will give you 100 morale while the hero is on the wall. So I've already talked about this skill. It's also fine to use this one. It will significantly enhance your wall. The morale will increase the maximum attack of your units. Basically they will deal much higher damage. So it's definitely possible to take this skill as well. And the fourth skill will make your hero take 35% less damage from demons. So demons are basically all the units of the goddess of sin. I don't really see any good reason to take this skill other than maybe against certain mines. So also a temporary skill if you really need it. Alright, for the fourth skill you have a choice between two skills. So the first skill will give your hero a chance to resurrect with 10% of his HP when he is killed in battle. So this is a great skill. This is of course the skill you should take here. The second skill will give your hero a 50% bonus to damage he deals to bosses. So I don't really see any reason to take this skill. The underground bosses are not really that strong that you need this bonus. So it's a no-brainer here. The revival skill is the one you should take here. And the last tank skill will increase by 10% the attack of your units every time your hero is hit. Notice though that it doesn't work when the hero is stunned. So this is a great skill. I like it a lot. I even use it with my mage. Among the top skills, this is probably the best. Alright, so this is it for the tank skills. The dexterity skills you need for your tank are the following. For the first dexterity skill, you will need the retaliation skill. But when your hero attack is still really weak, you can also take the bonus to physical attack and speed to all fighters and ranged units. For the second skill, you will of course need the defense bonus when an enemy unit is killed. And for the third skill, you will need the dodge skill. What could also be interesting is taking the poison. I didn't have the chance to experiment with that, but if someone wants to try it and tell me how it is, that would be cool. I imagine that this could work if your hero's defense is strong enough. Alright, so this is all for this video and for the Heroes Build series. If you disagree with me on anything, please let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to be notified for future videos. And if you have any suggestions or requests for guides, I'll be happy to hear them. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.